not even like, I wouldn't blame you. I know you don't know me a lot, but...
Hey guys, what's going on? GassyMexican here, and this is Message Monday for April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, apparently. I'm not a big fan of April Fools. I think it's kind of an annoying holiday where you don't trust anyone and everyone is just a big goddamn troll. But not to be super, whatever, negative or anything like that. I don't mean to do that at all. I don't mean to impart negativity to you. But anyways, I'm not a big fan of April Fools. Namely for, like I just said, you don't trust anybody. And, I don't know. It's a minor annoyance, and I'm being a little bitch complaining about it. But anyways, it's April Fool's Message Monday. It's not an April Fool. It's actually here. There's an actual show. So let's move to our questions for this week. Sorry, first of all, for not doing Message Monday for a while. I know I have bouts where I just kind of forget to do it or don't do it or whatever, but I've been fairly busy. I have actual reasons for not doing Message Monday for a little while. We had PAX and stuff like that, and I was working on videos and other stuff, but basically coming off PAX and stuff like that, I was more busy trying to get back into the swing of things, recording and whatnot and stuff like that. So and other excuses for why I didn't do Message Monday. Message Monday for this week is actually happening, so let's move to our actual, using the word actual more, messages. All right, first message comes from DC Dude 8888, and they say, do you have any plans to, by the way, that's from Twitter. All of these will be from Twitter. Like I said, in the past, I might move over to Twitter just exclusively for a while, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it out. But anyways, back to his question, DC Dude 88888. I might have put too many 8s in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know, 4 8s. And they said, do you have any plans to move to San Francisco with Renee to be closer to Diction? It's funny you asked this. I've gotten this question a little bit, not exactly like that, but, are you guys planning on moving? And I think it's because people follow us on Twitter and hear us talking about it in live streams and stuff like that. We may be moving to San Francisco or, the Bay Area there in California for a couple of reasons. First being... they're in no particular chronological or important order, but I'll just say them as they are. One, we're closer to Renee's parents if we're out there. That's not like the biggest reason or anything like that, but we would be closer to her parents out there. But the bigger reasons is there's more game development and video game development and game industry jobs out there by the coast, and especially in San Francisco. And that's more what Renee wants to do. Currently, her job, has nothing to do with gaming or anything like that. So we're going to move out there to give her better opportunities, and it also in turn gives me better opportunities because there are lots of game developers and companies and game related, things out there. Closer to the coast you are, the better and the more chance you're going to find such companies and places. So I'll have more opportunities to like check out maybe games early or, do things like, some special launch thing or whatever. Sometimes game development companies will invite local YouTubers or whatever, or game commentators that are out there to check out a game or do an event or whatever. So I might have opportunities like that, which in turn allows me to bring cool, exclusive, or just interesting footage and videos to you guys. So more opportunities in general is the reason why we're moving out there. And also we'll be closer to Nick. We're closer to him. He lives in San Francisco, so we'll be able to hang out with him, and me and him can do like crazy skit video ideas and whatnot. But in general, just there's more opportunity out there for me and her, and we'll be closer to her family. And also, it's closer to the ocean and stuff like that. And I know she'll be excited. This is kind of like a side reason, not really, a big legitimate reason, but it's dry here in Colorado, and Renee doesn't like how dry it is here. And I guess we both kind of like dealt with it. I'm kind of indifferent towards it, but for a girl, their hair is much softer when you buy water and it's more moist in the air and stuff like that. But that's just a side reason. The main reasons are there's more opportunities for me and Renee out there, and we'll be closer to people that we know, such as Diction. And in San Francisco, we'll be closer to Twitch. Got a bunch of friends at Twitch, being Justin and Ernie, and I'm missing people. There's other people out there. There's a lot of reasons for us to be out there. So those are them, and we may be doing them. Words, man. Words. We may be moving out there pretty soon. If it's not really soon, it's kind of dependent on, we got to do some budgeting and stuff like that and see when we can actually do it. But if it's, we want to try to do it as soon as we can. Nothing set in stone by any means. So that's what's going on. Thank you for your question, DC Dude, and let's move on to the next one. Next question comes from By Quadrix, and they say, if there was no voice communication, Skype, Xbox Live Party, etc., how would this make gaming better and worse? I'm assuming they meant to say, how would this make gaming better and worse? They kind of missed that word, but that is the logical assumption that I'm going with. If there were no voice communication, how would it make gaming better and worse? All right, let's start with the better. Let's start with the better. First of all, you know, the biggest draw, at least for me anyways, for online gaming, and I think the reason why gaming in general, specifically online, obviously, because that's what we're dealing with, it has grown so much and has become so appealing and, you know, had a big boom over the last several years is because, you know, you have that online interaction and you can talk to your players that or your friends that you're playing with. It helps a lot of people that don't live by each other anymore or whatever, that maybe used to connect and spend time, you know, and still stay friends and whatnot. It goes back to chat rooms and stuff like that. People doing like video chat and voice chat and stuff like that. It's the same thing with gaming. You connect with the people you're playing with, you bond with them and stuff. So there's that factor of having voice or not having voice or whatever. That would be lost. You know, there's a lot of games, especially today, that are very cooperatively focused. They, you know, you have to work together to do stuff, and having voice chat obviously makes things easier. And I mean, for me, it would suck, especially because, you know, I do video game commentaries with friends all the time. But there's no, you didn't really specify your question too much as far as that affecting, like, you know, well, I guess you did say Skype and Xbox Live Party. I'm being stupid, never mind. But yeah, that would adversely affect me, doing commentaries and stuff like that. Definitely a lot more solo commentaries coming from me, or like, maybe I'll talk to my neighbors and stuff and be like, hey, you want dual comm, bro? And it's like a 13-year-old boy, and that would be my option. I would have dual comms with my 13-year-old neighbor or something like that. No, definitely there would be a loss of, you know, connection and bonding, and just in general, gaming would, I think, would be a lot less enjoyable. The better, let's say, I suppose you wouldn't have to deal with like super annoying, you know, people just fucking going into their mic. I didn't get super, you know, close to my mic, but you know what I'm talking about when people eat their microphone on Xbox Live and whatnot. I'm going to stereotype a little bit here, and I know before I say this, not all of young people are like this that are playing Xbox Live and on voice and stuff, but you wouldn't have to deal with super annoying, young and immature kids just like spitting curse words like crazy, like thinking they're fucking cool, you know, that kind of thing. You wouldn't have to deal with that, so that's a betterment. But in general, I don't know. While we're talking about voice communication and stuff in gaming, I'm hoping that the new consoles will have better voice quality. Obviously on PC, and you know, when you're not playing on consoles, whatever, you can use stuff like TeamSpeak or Skype, and even just in-game VoIP, I guess, is better on PC. But it's one thing I've been wanting them to do with consoles. It's passable. Obviously, you can still understand what people are saying, but pretty much everybody sounds the same over Xbox Live voice or whatever, and that's because the quality is so bad. So I hope they increase that. I understand why they haven't, because that, you know, cuts down costs on bandwidth and servers and blah, 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 all that jargon. But hopefully with the new consoles, the Xbox 720 or whatever the hell it's called, and the PS4, they'll take that into consideration. So thank you for your question. That is my take on that scenario, as it were. And let's move on to the next one. Next question is from Fornoka, and they say, have you broken that helicopter yet? And have you hit yourself with it? When I got mine, that was the first thing I did. For those of you guys, just to add a little bit of context, if you don't know what this person is talking about, I recently got a RC helicopter that you can fly with your iPhone or whatever. It's like a tiny one. It's not super powerful, but it's got a gyro, you know, on it and stuff like that. So it's good. I actually got it on Groupon. If you guys don't use Groupon, I've been using it a bunch. I have the app on my phone and I check a bunch. Again, not endorsed by Groupon, but I like to give you guys, you know, advice on stuff, whatever. I don't know. Take it or leave it. But I got it on there. It's usually like $100 or something, or like 80 to $100 or something like that for this RC helicopter, and I got it for 30. So I've been messing around with that, mainly annoying Renee. She keeps getting afraid that it'll get caught up, like I'll fly it too close to her and it'll get caught up in her hair or something. So naturally I fly it close to her and just kind of hover over her while she's at her computer and just like, what are you doing? And the helicopter's like right behind her. And then she, of course, in response, smacks it out of the sky and gets it dinged up. So it's a little dinged up from her smacking it out of the sky when it's hovering around her. I've hit a couple things inevitably because you always hit things when you're trying to like learn the controls and stuff, especially since it's controlled with an iPhone. It's a little bit more tricky. It's touch controls. You don't get that same feel that you would, I guess, with a joystick, a physical joystick that you could touch. But I'm getting a lot better with it. I have not hit myself with it. I have hit Malcolm with it on accident and a little bit on purpose. But before you guys say, oh, dog abuse and all that, he doesn't even, he's not, that's the one thing. He's not fazed by this thing at all. Like, I flew it around expecting him to, like, you know, go crazy and, like, jump up at it and try to swat it out of the sky. But no, he doesn't really care. He just sat there on the couch and just looked at it like, all right, whatever. And then he just was blank and staring forward. Very surprising that he didn't really care about it. But a couple times I've lost control of it and it's flown right into him. And he's just kind of been like, just kind of like, whatever. And then he just continues on ignoring it. So I haven't broken it. I have almost hit myself though. I flew it. I was trying to fly it through an area like, I don't know how to describe it. So I'm just gonna say I was trying to fly it close around me and where I was by my laptop. And I accidentally ended up flying it straight into my laptop. Like I said though, they're very, very light propellers and stuff like that. If you hit you, it doesn't really hurt. It's just kind of like, it's like someone just tapping you or something like that, kind of firmly. So that's what I was saying about people saying I abuse my dog. I don't abuse my dog, god damn it. But yeah, I haven't broken it. It's gotten a little dinged up on the propellers, but thankfully I think those are pretty cheap to replace. You can just buy new ones and stuff. But I've had a lot of fun with it. I might make a video with it. I might make a silly video. Let me know if you guys want to see one. I'll probably end up making one anyways, but I suppose now that I've talked about it, I'll pull the interest level if you guys want to see a ridiculous video with me messing around with my RC helicopter. But no, I haven't broken it. I haven't hit myself with it. Hidden? I haven't hit myself with it. Thanks for your question. Let's move on to the next one. Next question is from Feingas from the Twitters, and they say, hi, GassyMexican. I noticed that bigger YouTubers upload about 2 to 3 videos a day. How many uploads do you think is best for new YouTubers? Good question. I've answered this a little bit. Especially, I answered this recently to some people at PAX East when I met them, some fans. They, you know, it was just kind of like a side note when they asked me, like, you know, do you have advice for new YouTubers or people starting out? And this is something I say, don't upload 2 to 3 videos a day. If you're just starting up, you really don't need to be uploading and putting out that much content. A lot of people they fall into this trap or shoot themselves in the foot, if you want to say it that way. When they start out, they feel like they need to, you know, do what the larger or more sizable channels and YouTubers are doing. That's not true. Those people didn't start out kicking out a whole bunch of content, with the exception of a few. Seamus, I think, is the only one that comes to mind. He didn't do that with the thought that, you know, oh, I'm going to get super big on YouTube. He did that as I understand him explaining it in the past, as like a catalog that he could go back and watch for himself. So that's the reason why he's kind of gotten into the groove and used to, you know, doing a bunch of videos and uploading a bunch, because he didn't even really do it for people, you know, to watch it in that way back then. He just did it more for like a personal catalog of him playing games for himself that he could go back and look at. So, but yeah, if you have a small channel, you don't have a huge viewer base. So if you're throwing up a whole bunch of videos, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by you're oversaturating your channel. So say if I'm, you know, some kid that or somebody that comes across your channel and there's like 1,000 or 2,000 videos. I've seen people that have like 50 subs and you have like 2,000 videos. That's way too many, in my opinion anyways. This is obviously all my own advice that I'm giving out, but since somebody asked it, I might as well give it. What I would recommend is to just start small. Like, do a couple videos per week, like 2 to 3 videos a week. If you want to do more than that, that's your prerogative, but I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't exceed like 1 video a day. And then let people discover your channel first. And then once you actually build up a fan base and people that are watching, you know, and you get that higher viewership per video, then start increasing your content and how many videos you upload. Wait till people actually ask for more videos from you, because otherwise you're just kind of hurting yourself. And I've seen a lot of people say like, well, I have like 1,000 some videos on there and they only have like a couple views each. Well, I mean, you kind of did that to yourself. You gotta, it's a slow process, especially now. It's a hard thing to get into. It was hard before, but it's even harder now because so many people are trying to do it. So I would say take the time to work on becoming better at doing your commentaries, get better at you know, talking and playing a game, and get more comfortable with it before you decide to put up a whole bunch of content. So thanks for your question. Fine Gus, that is my answer. And let's move on to the second to last question. Next question is from holy_bagel on Twitter, and they say, since you live in Colorado, do you ski or snowboard? If you don't, do you want to ski or snowboard? This is something that I'm kind of ashamed of. I'm a snowboarder. I used to snowboard a lot when I was younger. I haven't snowboarded in a really long time, and I live in a place that's very close to, like, you know, very nice resorts in Aspen and stuff like that. It's not that far away to drive there, and I still haven't gone snowboarding here in Colorado. When I lived in Chicago, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna snowboard in Colorado. It's gonna be awesome. There's so many great hills there. It's gonna be great. I still have yet to do it, and I'm ashamed of that. Maybe that's something I'll do before I leave here. I have to look around. I still don't even know what the best option would be if I wanted to, because, you know, there's a lot of nice resorts around here, but with that comes a very high cost, I would assume. So, I don't know, I'll have to do some researching and see what the best idea or best bargain would be to, best bang for your buck, I guess. But I haven't gone snowboarding, and I'm ashamed of that. I don't have a snowboard either. I used to have a snowboard. It's at my parents' house, but it was used when I bought it, and it sure as hell doesn't fit me now. So, if I did go, I'd have to rent or consider buying a new one. I'd probably just rent. But, I've talked about it a little bit with Renee, I don't know, a couple months back around the time when I got my car, that we should try to, you know, go up to the mountains and snowboard a little bit. She's kind of hesitant to that. She's more just like of the type of person that wants to like sit in the lodge and drink cocoa and stuff, and which is fine. That's cool if she wants to do that, but I at least want to try to get her out there one more time to, because she's done it in the past, but, you know, didn't do too great with it. But I've been snowboarding for a while, and I've helped people learn how to snowboard, so I'd like to go out there and try to teach her and try to get her to do it and have another crack at it. So maybe that's something we'll do before we move, if we do. But yeah, I haven't snowboarded while I'm here. I'm kind of ashamed of that. I apologize to all you snowboarders out there who are listening to this and going, what? This is bullshit. You're in a great place to snowboard. You dick. Because that's how you guys talk. You stammer over your words and you speak like that. But anyways, thanks for your question, Holy Bagel. Let's move on to the last question for this week's Message Monday. The last question is from Neon Studs, and they say, when do you think you, Diction, and Renee would do another 24-hour stream? We definitely enjoy doing them, but it's one of those things that you don't want to do all the time. I wouldn't do them like every month or every other month, or even every other couple months, several months, because they do take a toll on you. They're exhausting. They're not exactly a healthy thing to do if you do them fairly regularly like that. But we will definitely be doing another one. Last one we did was for the KB Mod thing that they do for Child's Play, and they, you know, where they get a bunch of people and YouTubers, as many people as they can, and get the word out to do 24-hour live streams around the same time. So that's what we did last year, and myself, Renee, and Diction are planning on doing that again. I don't know when they do that. I can't even remember when we did that, like what month it was. But whenever they do that again this year, we'll definitely be a part of it. I love doing 24-hour live streams. They're great. But, you know, if you do them a whole bunch, it's overwhelming and it takes its toll on your body. And they're not necessarily healthy. They really fuck up your sleep schedule too. So, but yeah, they're very fun. I will definitely be doing another one. When will I actually be doing it? I don't know. If KB Mod has published when they're going to do it, or if you look at when we last did it for 2012, that's probably a good indication of when we'll do it next. So with that, thank you for your questions, Neon Studs, and everybody else that wrote in this week. I do believe I'm going to start doing just Twitter questions and stuff like that. So for a while now, at least until I figure out, or if I want to continue doing like voice messages and stuff like that, I'm just going to keep it Twitter for now. It's nice and easier for me to go through and pick your questions. So if you guys want to potentially be on the next Message Monday, what you have to do is follow me on Twitter. Every Monday, I usually tweet out sometime during the early afternoon that I'm looking for questions. You tweet me with, once you see that tweet from me, you tweet me with hashtag Message Monday or hashtag MM with your question, and I go through and pick them, and then I'll let you guys know when I've selected all of mine, so you don't have to tweet me any more questions. But that's how you do it. Thanks to everybody that wrote in this week, and thanks to all you guys that watched this video. Hope you liked it. I guess happy April Fools, and I'll be zany and pull all sorts of great pranks, because that's what people do on April Fools. But anyways, yeah, thanks guys for watching. I will see you next time, and stay sexy.